Today I want us to talk a little bit about innocence. You see, there is a lot of power found in innocence that the world doesn't have an idea about. And I want to take a little bit of time to share with you some knowledge that maybe, if you are humble enough, you might be able to use it to save yourself from a lot of trouble and to be able to create very good relationships and a good life for yourself. I'll give you very practical examples that will really open your mind. And some of these examples are just things that happen around us, people that we see, but we don't pay much attention to their activities or how they rule the world or rule their families or rule the people around them with just the power of innocence. I call it the power of innocence because it is tremendous energy. It is a lot of power that once you lay your hands upon and will it, you can get anything you want. You know, we live in a society where people strive for knowledge. People want to be more intelligent, so they have to go to school. People want to study sciences. People want to study literature. People want to study technology. People want to be the best in those fields. You know, because they want to be respected. They want to prove how intelligent they are. And probably they want to have a good living out of that knowledge. Which is good anyway, because it brings about development in the society. It brings about technological advancement. It brings about scientific advancements, which helps us to discover and know our world better than ever. It helps to bring man even to be able to discover how powerful he is, and to be able to discover the things that he never believed he could do. All this knowledge helps us to be able to discover the amount of power, the amount of energy we have in us that has never ever been exploited before by our forefathers. But there's something which is lacking in all of this, and that thing is the invisible part of everything that we do. Because all the knowledge we learn, whether it is science, technology, literature, all of this knowledge emanates from an invisible source. It emanates from the cosmos. But except we get to understand this invisible source, except we get to understand this invisible power, it is going to be very difficult for us to really have all this knowledge and also find the peace and love and joy and harmony that we need in this earth school. You see, innocence is a source of great power and has been sought for by great spiritual leaders. And each spiritual leader who sought the power of innocence became very great. We can think of people like Jesus Christ, Buddha, Gandhi, and a whole host of other people who could not hurt, but they were not very much paid attention to, but they wield a lot of power. In our own society, we also find certain people who wield a lot of power, but who seem to be very innocent. Most of the church, great spiritual leaders in the world today wield a lot of power, but when we look into their lives, we don't find they don't look for physical or material power. They seem to be innocent. Now let's just go straight to the topic and see what we can get out of it. I'm going to give you some few examples. I want us to take the life of a newborn baby. If you're a father or a mother, or you've once ever been around a newborn baby, you discover that the environment is very charged and everybody pays attention to the baby. Once a baby is born in a family, everything changes. The life of the father, the life of the mother, the life of everyone who lives in that house changes, because everybody's attention focuses towards the baby. The baby doesn't ask for food. The baby doesn't ask to be given a bath. The baby doesn't ask to be taken care of. The baby simply is lying there and just waiting. And everyone gets busy looking for what to do that can save the baby's life. The baby is innocent. He can't force us to do anything. He can't even talk. He can't walk. He's very weak and vulnerable. But what makes that baby so important that everyone pays attention to? And even when you take the baby somewhere where no one has an idea or no one knows the baby, they still pay attention and they take care of the baby. What is that force in that baby that makes that to happen? We discover it is the power of innocence. When you are innocent, you wield a lot of energy. You wield a lot of positive energy. We all agree that children wield a lot of positive energy because they are innocent. They are ignorant. They seem to know nothing. And so we have to know for them. We have to learn for them. We have to do things for them because we feel they can't do those things. They are humble. They are meek. They are gentle. Yet, they rule our lives. We get panic when they are sick. We get worried when they don't sleep. We get worried if there's no food for them. But they never ever ask us to provide food, to pamper them to go to bed. They never ask for any of those things. Why? Because of the power of innocence. It is the same thing with leaders, with certain types of leaders. I don't mean every leader. I mean spiritual leaders. If you look at most of the spiritual leaders, they don't force you to bring money to them. They don't force you to assist them to be able to preach or to take care of spiritual matters. They simply suggest or ask. And at times they don't even ask. And people give. Why do they do that? Because these people are meek. They are gentle. They are innocent. Innocence is one of the most powerful things that every spiritual leader longs for. Every enlightened person, any person who wants to attain, reach his higher self, always looks for innocence.